Hi, so my name is Jamie Zeldman, and I worked on this assignment with Ashley Winton, and we focused our study on the McCormick Science Institute Research Award. And the focus of this study was about the role of spices and their positive potential health benefits. And the purpose of the McCormick Science Institute is to provide funding for research that implements the Academy's research agenda for dietetics. So, as I said before, we focused our grant on the positive benefits that spices can have in people's everyday lives. And according to Heber, one of our scientists in our literature reviews, there are more antioxidants in spices and herbs compared to fruits, vegetables, and berries. So there are a lot of positive benefits. There's a role of spices on oxidative stress, which leads to diabetes and obesity. And the spices reduce the amount of plasma markers of oxidative stress and improved cardiovascular health. So whether that be the capsaicin in red pepper, turmeric, cinnamon, most of our literature review articles showed that there was potential positive health benefits and outcomes from this. So for our research design and method, we wanted to focus our study on the UF population because it's easily accessible. Both of us go here. We're surrounded by UF students all the time. So we wanted to study 1,000 UF undergrad students and survey them on their uses of spices and their current health status and certain factors that could affect their use of spice or not. So for our survey, we wanted to make it completely anonymous just so no one feels uncomfortable and can just be honest and tell the truth. So it's completely anonymous and it's going to be randomized. We're going to have them say whether they're male or female on a pre-med or non-pre-med track, their age and their year in school, and all of that is to just get a little bit more background information about who this person is without actually knowing who it is, of course. And we wanted to know their current health status, just checkbox of common conditions that could potentially be an impact on the use of spices. So it could be things like diabetes, hypertension, hypothyroidism, just a common list of things that they can just easily check off. They don't have to put much thought into. And then just a little place for them to put something about their family medical history, just in case it's important for us to know. And then getting to what we are actually interested in is we're going to ask their spices that they commonly use in their home, whether they're going out to eat, anything like that, just to list their common spices and see what they have to say about that. So our available facilities, we're mostly going to focus on using the UF Qualtrics system and getting our information out via social media on Facebook. There's a lot of groups out there for UF students, so we're planning on posting them in most of those, trying to get feedback, people to take 2 minutes out of their day to fill out this survey. And then also going to classes and common places on campus like Turlington, libraries, Wrights, certain health fairs, and just really encouraging people to participate in our 2-minute survey. It would really help us out. And then to encourage participation, we were going to provide like a healthy snack and then a recipe card just as a little flyer with ways that they can incorporate spices at home. And that's just to encourage the participation, not to bribe them to take the survey or anything, just so it's an additional bonus. So our focus is going to be to study on the correlations that we see between their health status and then the spices they use, and then we're going to eventually analyze that data. So the feasibility of conducting this research, it's going to be done on college students. So as I said before, we both go here. We're immersed in the student population every day. We're going to really focus on Facebook being our biggest source of data collection, and then going to Turlington, flyering, whatever we have to do to get the rest of the surveys, and just to get a different perspective for people that sometimes may not use Facebook or social media. So then our data analysis plan, we're suspecting that our data collection is going to take about 6 months, and then it's going to take about 1 to 2 months afterwards to compile the data, formulate that into Microsoft Excel, make graphs, tables, charts, and then eventually we're going to publish our data and communicate our results. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. So the appropriateness of our budget, our money will be used on printing the surveys and healthy snacks and recipe cards, just to encourage that participation, and using it for potential software that we might need to accurately analyze the data. So once we get all of our data, we're going to compile our online data that we collected from the Facebook surveys with the live surveys that we did within classes, clubs, Turlington, things like that, combine it into one document onto Microsoft Excel. The reason we asked for the weight and height is because we are going to eventually calculate their BMI and see whether they're at healthy weight, underweight, overweight, and see how the spices they used affect that potentially. And then we do want to eventually publish our data in the Alligator because it's easily accessible for students, and especially for the students that participated in the survey, it's a cool way to get follow-up on their data and see where they fall among the stats among the UF college students. Then, as I said before, I'm Jamie. My partner is Ashley. We're both dietetic students, so we're both really interested in this topic and how the spices could have potential health benefits. And then eventually, our data down the road could affect certain guidelines in the dining halls on campus. A lot of freshmen use the dining halls, and it could be beneficial to provide more spices for the students so they can use them if they want to, if they don't have cars and can't get to Publix or whatever their reason is. It should be available at dining halls, and then also available at our food bank on campus, and then at our pod market, just so people have the option, because the whole goal of this study is to maybe see if the spices do have an effect on overall health benefits and get those students at University of Florida to change their perspective about it and maybe incorporate them more in their own diets. So yeah, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.